What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome back to another post-show reaction to Monday Night Raw. My name is Jose Ramos Jr. Thank you again for joining me here. And we just finished Monday Night Raw. The main event was the debut of Uncle Howdy taking on Chad Gable, who he's been, targeting for the last couple of months as a result of his fallout with the Alpha Academy and the development of American Made. I think it was a great showing for Uncle Howdy. I personally enjoyed the fact that they gave him enough time to really have a match. Most times, when it comes to these debuts of these new characters, especially that of a supernatural character like an Uncle Howdy, we see it almost as a squash match. We see the match really quick pace. It ends up, just a quick, 2-3 minute showcase of that individual. But we did see Chad Gable get a little bit of offense on Uncle Howdy, at times really portraying the Uncle Howdy character as a sympathetic character. And I really think that that'll help in the long run for connecting with the audience. We know, of course, the story about Bray Wyatt, his untimely passing, and the development of this Wyatt 6 character. But watching the matchup and seeing the little mannerisms and the move set that Uncle Howdy utilizes throughout the course of the match, I couldn't help, and I know a lot of people probably couldn't help but think back to Bray Wyatt, and it still doesn't feel real. It was only really a year and a half ago that we saw Bray Wyatt last on WWE TV on the lead up to WrestleMania 39, and whenever I see the Uncle Howdy character, or Bo Dallas for that matter, on TV, I always think back to the Rotunda family and how they're probably dealing with the loss of Bray Wyatt. Not only was he able to amass such a legacy in a short time, really, because he debuted the Bray Wyatt character in 2013, 2012, 2013, and then all the way up to 2020, 2024, 2023, of course. But I thought it was well done. I love what they're doing with the character. People are invested. I'm invested in this character. And to see the inclusion of guys like Dexter Lumis, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, of course, Nikki Cross as well. I'm a big fan of what they're doing with this character. And like I said, I think it was the right decision to give Uncle Howdy a showcase, but also a competitive matchup. I know there's this fine line that can be argued whether or not you want to present him as a real strong, babyface character, especially again presenting the supernatural effect, versus that of giving him a little bit of a sense of vulnerability against someone like Chad Gable. Again, it's only the first match, and I think it won't be the only matchup we see between Chad Gable and Uncle Howdy. But just tremendous job. What a way to end the show. And I think we all knew that that was going to be the closer for Monday Night Raw, because again, it's the first match for Uncle Howdy, who was introduced way back when, the fall of 2022, the spring of 2023, during that last run for Bray Wyatt. And again, rest in peace to Bray Wyatt and the legacy that he left behind. But I also want to mention someone else that had an untimely passing, earlier today. Sid Justice, Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, the ruler of the world. We unfortunately lost him as well. And the little tribute that they had shown during Monday Night Raw, I thought was just beautifully prepared, beautifully done. And he's a former, WWE champion, a former tag team champion, world champion. If he's not, Hall of Fame worthy, I don't know how he's not. One of the big men that really define the 90s, of that new generation era. And it's odd because if you keep up with the videos, I had talked about one of the injuries, the most memorable injuries in pro wrestling, and I included his, because of that image of him and his leg when he broke it, both in the tibia and the fibula. It's something that still sticks with me to this day. But one memory that sticks out for me for Sid as a kid growing up, I remember, of course, seeing older matches. I remember the run-ins that he had with Shawn Michaels. I remember his match at WrestleMania 13 against The Undertaker, of course, for that WWE title. And then I remember on the lead up to Raw 1000, We had a list of legends appearing, and they were having run-ins with Heath Slater, Alita, and Vader, just to name a couple. And Sid was one of the the last names that appeared in having a match with Heath Slater, and it had been like the first time since probably '97 that we had saw Psycho Sid in the WWE ring, and I thought that was such a great opportunity for him to once again be acknowledged by the WWE audience and have his accomplishments being celebrated. In fact, I mentioned he won the WWE title. It was actually that version, back there, the Winged Eagle that he held in some time in '97 and '96 when he defeated Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series '96, actually. So I thought that was a real nice touch that they acknowledged that, and especially when it comes to pro wrestling, it's one community, and to see a member of that community, being taken away, it's never easy. It's never easy, but it's just a reminder of how valuable our time is on this earth. So just wanted to touch on that real quick. Monday Night Raw, also, we saw the beginning stages of the Intercontinental Championship tournament. It was not a traditional tournament. Obviously, when you see the word tournament, I was assuming it would be a one-on-one action, very much similar to that of the King of the Ring. But we have 4 first-round matchups that are triple threat rules and are basically qualifying matches for the Fatal 4-Way Finals that will crown the new number 1 contender. Of course, in the first triple threat match, we saw Jey Uso defeat the likes of Kofi Kingston and Karrion Kross. For a moment there, I drew a blank. I feel like it was the right call. Jey Uso, on the run of his career, naturally he should be competing for the Intercontinental Championship, especially when he made that goal of leaving 2024 with singles gold. Just a no-brainer. And in the second triple threat matchup, we saw Pete Dunne defeat The Miz as well as Xavier Woods. And again, I think it could have went either way. I wouldn't have been surprised if they included The Miz because he is an 8-time Intercontinental Champion. Try to put him in there to potentially tie the record of Chris Jericho's 9. Xavier Woods, also the story being told there with his potential heel turn, maybe could have added some kind of layer to the story. But Pete Dunne is a great choice. Pete Dunne and Jey Uso in there. I'm thinking next week Ilya Dragunov wins his triple threat match, and probably Bronson Reed wins his as well. So a lot to look forward to. In terms of those Intercontinental Championships. And we talked about family. We talked about the Wyatt family, the Wyatt Six. How could I not talk about Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio's interaction on Monday Night Raw today? Whenever those two are involved with one another, I have to mention it because I grew up on that whole Dominic custody storyline, and I love Rey Mysterio. It was a 4-on-4 matchup between the Judgment Day and the LWO, and what was a great opener. Fun, energetic, high-octane offense that ultimately saw Dominic Mysterio score another pinfall on his dad, Rey Mysterio. Don't think they're done with that storyline. I think every now and then we're going to get a sprinkle of like what we saw today. But of course, that's building up to Bash in Berlin when Dominic and Liv Morgan try to take on the Terror Twins, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. And a small detail that I really enjoyed during their run-in on Raw today was how Damian and Rhea both were representing one another by having their partners t-shirt on. Rhea Ripley wearing Damian's wearing Rhea Ripley, and little details like that I think are just so cool. So Monday Night Raw, just a fun episode. You'd be hard pressed for me to have more complaints about wrestling right now. I'm sounding like a broken record, but it's the hottest it's been in like a quarter century. So Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy, I'm telling you, I see him and I can't help but smile and think about Bray. And yeah, it's tough. Uncle Howdy had a great showing, great match. I want to know what you guys thought. Go ahead and comment down below one of your favorite aspects of Monday Night Raw tonight. What matchup are you looking forward to next week as they announce the slate? Bash in Berlin's this week, so go ahead and comment down below what match you're looking forward to there. If you enjoyed this post-show reaction, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and continue to subscribe to the channel in order to get up-to-date content such as this on the channel. And with that being said, my name is Jose Ramos Jr. Thank you guys again for joining me, and I'll be seeing you soon.